favourite segments now. Time to talk property, and for downsizers, the idea of moving a lifetime's worth of possessions and memories into an apartment or retirement home might be too much to bear. So why not look at a granny flat, perhaps? If you've got a backyard, it might just be the way to go. For more, here's Cashmore.
Yeah.
Catherine, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Who would need a granny flat?
Your mum.
Yes.
At some point, your mum's going to need, because you don't want to put one of your relatives into a home. You know, we've got an ageing population, and the culture now is moving towards looking after your family at home. So we're going to go straight into what's it worth, and we're going to look at a house that has got a granny flat. So what's it worth?
So the main house is 17 squares. Well, hang on, so 6-bedroom, is that...
6-bedroom, well look, okay, this is 6 bedrooms because it's got a granny flat, so that's a real big highlight.
So it can be, don't forget, oldest child's hangout until you need it to be a granny flat.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we're going to cover. This is actually adding value to your house, putting in a granny flat that can serve so many purposes. But have a look, really nice house, really, you know, just your standard suburban
That's
house.
the granny flat up the back there?
That's your granny flat out the back. You'll actually see it
better. The granny flat, the shed, just there.
That's a really healthy, I call that a healthy distance from the house too.
Can you tell us which state this is in? It's in Victoria.
In Victoria,
okay. Yeah,
near the beach, as in the city near the beach,
no,
or in a ridge?
No, we're looking at an outer... So I'm giving you way too many clues. Looking at an outer
or maybe
suburb.
Geelong. Could
yeah,
be.
yeah.
The G?
Yep.
Oh, gee, so 3-bedroom. Is that the 3-bathroom? Is that one of the bathrooms in the granny flat?
So that would include in the granny flat. So remember, this is all advertising material. So come on, look, this is the last one. No end-of-year prize, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Now, you were going to get a house.
Get to win the
Sorry, this is what happens when they act.
685.
Whoa!
Whoa!
I just did that to put you off. 720.
720? Wow! I don't know.
Wow!
Sorry.
Is that a lot?
That wasn't a clue.
You've given a clue halfway through.
I reckon her clue is that's a lot. I'd go down.
Okay,
Yeah.
550.
Can I change mine?
I'll go 450.
450. Okay, and the winner is, and because we got one that went spot on, the prize is you.
Yeah, baby.
£550. Where is it? Okay, it's in Tootgarook.
That's not even a place.
Tootgarook.
Which is in Victoria, down the Bellarine Peninsula.
Down near Rosebud.
Well, Ballarine's a beautiful area.
Beautiful, beautiful. But this is such a good idea. Look, first of all, the advertising material. So the big ways to add value to your house. So before you even think about putting a granny in there, is either to have a bigger land size, right, or increase the accommodation. And you're immediately increasing accommodation when you put a granny flat out the back.
Some people freaking out about the idea of the in-law that close. What do you say to those people?
Look, these are really independent places, so go online and have a look at how many companies now do granny flats. They'll do all the plans and permits, but you can even get them to design it so that at some point you'll be able to sell it as a separate property. So to either subdivide the land. Well, what you'd do is you'd subdivide the land. But talking about lift it up, there is a whole section on eBay which has portable granny flats. Which, no, seriously, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, if the show didn't get axed, I was going to say to you, let's do a segment on homes that you can lift up and portable homes.
And that is a really good idea.
And you've got to remember to take the granny out of the flat before you can get up and move it.
Let's talk about the criteria of a granny flat. What can you use for the flat and what should you never use?
Well, the first thing to think about is what elderly people usually need. So when you talk about downsizing, we're not talking about like first home buyers that buy small and then work up. We're talking about people that have got a lifetime's worth of stuff and memories that they don't necessarily want to lose, but then looking after a big house and a big garden and everything is too much. So this is really allowing them to move into something that can be an acceptable size. And that's what you've got to think about. If you're thinking about, well, look, you've got to think about the economics of it as well. So you're thinking about adding value. You want to have something that has got the potential to be used as other things aside from just a granny flat.
But you could use it as leading up to the point where you need to move a relative in. Absolutely. It can be an eldest child's room or a studio or an office.
Or rent it out. So this is another thing you can do, and particularly if you live close to a university, you'd be surprised at you know, how they take care of all the management and everything, so then you can rent it out.
One of the things that I like that you said is if you're thinking of building a granny flat, it has to be single story.
It does. You can't put stairs in anything, and that includes stairs leading up to the floor. All of the things when I go out and I'm looking with somebody that's elderly, they don't want stairs anywhere in the property. They just want a flat property. So do think about things like that, about not having stairs. But also think about the fact that you want it to be independent.
A little stove and a little fridge.
Stove, yeah, and you can even organise having a carport or a garage at the back.
Separate access point.
Separate access is absolutely vital.
I was going to say, you don't want them wandering through that.
Oh,
what are you cooking for tea? Oh, well, I wouldn't have done it that way.
And most people...
Look who I brought home tonight.
And most people wouldn't want to do that. But really, it's as for renting a property out, I mean, you're going to get that would cover a substantial part of your mortgage.
A quick question. Is it hard to get council approval for
You have to have council approval.
But is it hard?
Anything.
Like, do they go
no? I would say because we've got such an increase in population, they've got to look at these ideas now. They can't just say to people, well, no, you can't use your backyard space. Because you'll see in every capital city around Australia at the moment, they are looking at changing their zoning, and in Victoria, to allow sort of higher density to go on land, and particularly in properties like this. So the only time you might struggle a little bit with it is if you've got a sort of heritage overlay or in one of those areas.
At this point, can we say your segments on real estate have been so informative, so beautifully delivered. So thank you for everything you've given to the circles.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's just been a real pleasure doing it. It really has.
Please thank our real estate expert,